Chernobyl has been attacked. Who was behind it is not clear. On Friday, a drone armed with a warhead struck the protective outer shell of Ukraine's Chernobyl nuclear power plant, briefly causing a fire and damaging the structure. Ukraine blames Russia for it, but the Kremlin denies all involvement. The Chernobyl nuclear power plant is located near Ukraine's border with Belarus. Chernobyl was the site of a nuclear accident in the year 1986. To this day, it remains the worst disaster in the history of nuclear power generation. The plant has remained closed since then. The UN nuclear watchdog says radiation levels at the site have not gone up. Also, the inner containment shell of the plant was not breached. The incident has given rise to renewed fears of a nuclear catastrophe. Zelenskyy posted an image on X that appears to show the damage to the giant shield made of concrete and steel, which covers the remains of the reactor that lost its roof in the incident. He claims that the attack shows that Russia is not preparing for peace talks. Now, this after Zelenskyy made another startling claim aimed at ending the fighting, a move that could change the course of the 3-year-old conflict. Zelenskyy has said that Ukraine is ready for peace talks with Russia. He's even suggested that he might be open to a land swap, particularly in the Kursk region, which Ukraine seized in a surprise offensive last year. This marks a significant departure from his previous stance of not ceding any land seized by Russia. It's a daring move, no doubt, but Zelenskyy has also been clear about the importance of international support. He acknowledged that Ukraine cannot ensure its security simply with the help of its European partners. He has said that security guarantees without the US are not real security guarantees. The rather pointed comment underscores the US's crucial role in any lasting peace agreement. It fits into the belief that at the end of the day, the Ukraine conflict has as much to do with a decades-old rivalry between the US and Russia as it does with the Russia-Ukraine tensions. Trump spoke with both Putin and Zelenskyy on 12 February. He spoke about his desire to bring an end to the conflict. Trump said, "It is time to stop this ridiculous war where there's been massive and totally unnecessary death and destruction." He believes that both Russia and Ukraine are ready to negotiate an end to the conflict. Trump's call with Putin lasted more than 1 hour. Trump discussed about a potential ceasefire.
And the president released a statement following that conversation in great detail. I can also confirm that the president just recently got off the phone with President Zelenskyy of Ukraine. His truth is as follows. I just spoke to President Zelenskyy of Ukraine. The conversation went very well. He, like President Putin, wants to make peace. We discussed a variety of topics having to do with the war, but mostly the meeting that is being set up on Friday in Munich, where Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio will lead the delegation. I am hopeful that the results of that meeting will be positive. It is time to stop this ridiculous war where there has been massive and totally unnecessary death and destruction. God bless the people of Russia and Ukraine. I myself just spoke to the president about these calls, and he told me to tell all of you they were very good calls, they were very positive, and the administration is wholeheartedly committed to a peace deal to end once and for all the Russia-Ukraine war.
So what does all this really mean for the future of the Ukraine conflict? How will the US handle the delicate negotiations? Now, Trump seems to be counting on Putin to deliver on peace in Ukraine, especially after the Russian leader released a US prisoner, Mark Fogel, who was held by Moscow since 2021. The White House called it a quote-unquote goodwill gesture. Already, some believe that it could be a sign that negotiations to end the Ukraine conflict are gaining momentum. Zelensky's openness to negotiating a land swap is one of the clearest signals yet that Ukraine may be willing to consider compromises that were previously unthinkable. In a social media post, Zelenskyy thanked Trump for his interest in peace and his continued support to Ukraine. As for Putin, he has stressed on the need to eliminate the root causes of the conflict and also expressed a willingness to work towards sustainable peace. In fact, Putin even invited Trump to visit Moscow, marking another potential breakthrough in their relationship. And so the world waits. What will happen next? Will Ukraine and Russia make difficult compromises in the interest of peace? Can the US, under Trump's leadership, mediate a ceasefire? One thing's for sure, this conflict is far from over, but the possibility of peace may finally be within reach.